Desert heat shock. Imagine trying to keep your lunch fresh when the sun burns like a furnace and there's no electricity for a few thousand years. That was daily life in ancient Egypt. So how did they keep food from spoiling? Let me show you the hacks they used to beat the heat. First up, natural cooling. The Egyptians built with mud brick, thick walls, tiny windows, deep shade. Inside, air stayed cooler than the outside desert. Food storage rooms were often partly underground, near courtyards that funneled breezes. They used the Nile's gift too, evaporation. Porous clay jars, amphorae big water pots, sweated moisture through their walls. As water evaporated, it pulled heat away, making the contents cooler. Wrap a jar in wet linen, put it in the shade, catch a draft, and you've got a Bronze Age mini-fridge. Water wasn't the only thing they cooled. Fresh milk beer could sit inside or beside those damp jars to drop the temperature a bit. It wasn't icy, but in that climate, a few degrees mattered. Next, salt, Egypt's preservation superpower. Along dry lake beds they collected natron, a natural mix of salts famous for mummification. The same chemistry keeps food from spoiling. Salt draws out moisture, the lifeblood of bacteria. Fish from the Nile were cleaned, salted, and dried, ideal for long journeys and long storage. Meat could be brined or packed with salt, then hung in hot, moving air to cure. Honey? That's ancient antibacterial magic. Thick, sugary, low in water. Honey smothers microbes. Egyptians sealed fruits and nuts in honey-coated meats, even used honey on wounds. It preserved flavor, calories, and value. Sweetness was currency. Clay storage jars did heavy lifting. Grain, beans, lentils, Egypt's safety net, went into big sealed jars lined with resin or plaster. Lids of clay, mud, or woven fiber kept out insects and air. Jars were stacked in cool rooms or sunk partly into floors to tame temperature swings. Wine beer lived in sealed amphorae too, protected by wax or pitch. They also dried and concentrated. Think sun-dried dates, figs, raisins, onions, herbs. Pressed date syrup and thickened grape must lasted far longer than fresh fruit. Pickling in brine and vinegar-like sour liquids added another layer of defense. All this didn't just stop rot. It shaped a civilization. Reliable grain storage powered bread and beer, the daily fuel of farmers and pharaohs. Salted fish and preserved goods could travel, feeding workers on building sites and soldiers on campaign. Honey and resins supported trade networks up and down the Nile and across the Mediterranean. With every jar sealed and rack of fish dried, Egypt bought itself time. Time to farm the floodplains, time to build, time to thrive. So, what was the ancient Egyptian fridge? Shade clay, water salt, patience. A clever toolkit that turned the desert from enemy into ally. And honestly, that's a cool idea. No plug required.